This is episode 3 of the Emotional Freedom Podcast. Now, for this episode, I'm actually taking something that I discussed with one of my guests on episode number 12 of the Emotional Freedom Show, where I brought on my friend, Loretta. And Loretta is a certified pranic healer as well as a trainer and a coach. And her specialty is in vitality, productivity, as well as helping people to achieve the best results in their life. So one of the topics that we were discussing was about burnout and how people could actually overcome that burnout. So I'll leave details for how you can watch that particular episode on Facebook. So check out the link that I will put down there somewhere down there. All right. So according to Loretta, people when they go through burnout, they will have several symptoms, and those symptoms would be number one. I just want to make sure that I got it correct. That's why I've written the notes over here. So for Loretta, she mentioned that one of the things that a person has would be they will feel like their emotion is depleted. Meaning to say they will feel as if they are running on empty, and it feels like it's like you just feel so tired for no reason. You may have had a good night's sleep, and you could have been, say, eat good food and things like that, but you just feel so tired. So that is one of the signs of a person who has a burnout. Now, the second symptom will be when you feel like there is this emotional distance between you and what you love to do. And I give an example. So let's say that you love to bake cakes. You like to bake beautiful cakes. And in the past, you would just really put all your heart, energy, as well as emotion, etc., to make a really good cake. But now you feel as if that's the last thing that you want to do, and you felt tired by that. So that is the second sign of burnout, emotional burnout. Yeah, and thirdly, this has got to do with lowering of your productivity, whereby you start to feel as if your performance has drifted off. It's no longer you. You are now like your performance is below par, you make careless mistakes, and you are more critical of yourself. So these are three signs that people have when they experience burnout. And strangely, it happened to me as well. Now, today's episode, I want to share with you about what happened there and eventually how I got out from that. Because I hope that from this episode, I can share with you some ideas that you can use. Who knows, maybe you are experiencing something similar, or maybe you may experience it later. And if that were to happen, well, I hope that with this episode, you get some good ideas that you can take away with you. So it happened when I was fairly new as a trainer at that time. You see, I started as a trainer in the year 2010. That was the year I quit my full-time job in the Hong Leong Assurance. And at that time, I was informed by the CEO, by the GM, that come the new financial year, I would be promoted to be the regional manager for Sarawak to take care of 3 branches. Now, when I heard that, one part of me felt like, yes, this is going to be, increase my financial stability because, it's a big jump there, right? But another part of me would actually say that, but you are not happy in this job. Are you sure the extra pay, increment, and everything will be worth it if you were to feel unhappy with the job daily? So I made the decision to quit, and it was not an easy decision because at the time I had a house mortgage. I'm still paying for the car loan. My parents are both staying with me. I have a house. And I have 2, at that time just one son. My daughter wasn't born yet. So in other words, it's not the simplest decision to make because, no banks will give me a grace period by telling me, okay, Mr. Bong, we know that you are on a transition now. I'll give you 6 months grace period so you don't have to service your loan. No way. Banks are not that nice. They are after all, they are after our money, right? Okay, so that's why when you say deposit money with them, how much interest they give you. But when you borrow money with them, how much they charge you. Okay, I raised my case. So that did not cause the burnout because it came later. when I was out working on my own, I had to make sure that there is a source of income so that I can provide food for my family. I can put food on the table and make sure that all the loans are paid on time so that no banks will come to try to repossess the car or the house or something like that. About second year, or I think it was the second year as a trainer, that was the time when the burnout came. You see, from when I launched my career as a trainer at that time, the way I did it was by making myself known first, and I did it by volunteering to give free seminars and talks to whoever wanted me to. And doing those free talks was amazing because it really satisfied that feeling in me that, I'm helping people, I'm giving value, and people's lives are becoming better as a result. That was a really, really wonderful feeling. In fact, I remember at that time, I was already started doing it even when I was still working in a company. So there were times where some of the talks were during working hours. I would take an off day just so that I can go and give the talk for free some more. Yeah. So it was so much of like doing it because I genuinely love doing it. And pay, who cares? That was then. But when you had to do it as a pro, that means that your livelihood depends on people paying you for the training that you give. And all of a sudden, it's as if the game has changed. The rule of the game has changed. And I begin to start to focus on how much I can earn. I begin to focus on, this is too much time. It's not going to pay so much. So I'm not going to take that because I want to look for jobs that pay better. And when those jobs that pay better did not come as soon as I hoped for it to come, guess what? I started to worry and I started to be anxious. And it reminded me again of the feeling that I had when I was working in Hong Leong Assurance. So I came at a crossroad in my life at that time. I got the final project already, and I said final because after that particular project, there were no other follow-up projects. And I told myself, I've been telling my audience, I have been saying that as a trainer, I think the moment I don't feel passion for this anymore, the moment I don't enjoy anymore, that is a sign that tells me I need to quit. When I said that a few years ago, I was so confident that that would never happen to me because, come on, I'm just so passionate about it. How could it be possible that someone as passionate as I was burn out like that or don't lose the passion for that? And can you imagine the fear that I had when I realized that that moment has come? It's like I have just started as a trainer. It's like 2-3 years only. And I'm ready to quit because I don't have that passion anymore. What's wrong with me? And I started to sink down a rabbit hole, if you may call it. And I started to feel bad about it. I started to feel miserable. And so I told myself, okay, since this is the last one, I'm going to quit after this. No more. That's what I told myself. But I think at that time, I said that also because I had another business going on, which was Lighthouse Education. And that was the language teaching center that I had. It's an English language class. Yeah? So I told myself, I reasoned in my head, and that is, I don't have to do the training anymore. I can just fully focus on running Lighthouse Education because we have a steady number of students. They pay every month. And that will be a good steady income for me. But in my heart, I knew that what I really wanted was to be a trainer. But I made a promise. I said that if I ever lose that passion for this training, for people, I know I'm going to quit because if I don't do that, I won't be doing a good job. So the day came, and it was for my client in Kuching, a Japanese factory based in Kuching, Sarawak, known as Tayo Yuden. Now, Tayo Yuden, they have engaged me before, and because they enjoyed the training, they called me back to do, I think, round number 3 or 4 already. I can't remember which class that was. But this was how I reasoned with myself. I said, well, since this will be the final one, I don't care how much money I'm going to make from this. I don't care about this. I'm just going to go there and have fun, because this is like my swan song. All right, this is like the last show I will ever do. So just go on and enjoy yourself. Look, that was what I told myself. And that was what I did. I don't remember when was the last time I had so much fun doing the training. I was delivering the content, I was teaching. I was also playing with all the participants. There was just so much laughter. There was just like so much fun. And that was so great. So on the last day, that day 2, it was about to finish and the participants have left. I was clearing up because I have to go to the airport to fly back to Miri. And one of the participants stayed back and wanted to talk to me. And he shared with me that he felt so happy that he came for the class, because originally he was supposed to miss the class, but he told his supervisor that he really needed to learn this, so he came, and he did not realize that it would be that good. And it's fun, it inspired him, and it really helped him to believe in himself. Those are words that he said to me. And I remember as I was hearing him saying that, the hair on my neck just stood. That was like eerie. If I don't know any better, I would have thought that a spirit have passed by or something like that. It is just that goosebumps. And I began to regain that sense of purpose and of meaning about doing training. Because somewhere along the line, I have lost that sense of direction. I begin to focus so much on making money. I begin to focus on earnings and things like that. So much so to the point that I forgot how great it was to be able to have this privilege to do the training. So just like that, I found my energy came back, and I started to went all out and started to do training. But I'll tell you, the following year, the training business wasn't good at all. I could have just called it quits by then, but the positivity, the feeling, the inspiration, it came back, and I persevered. And I'm glad I persevered for that year and the following year, because after that, my training career took on a change. I went all out to get myself fully accredited as an NLP trainer, because up to then I was only a master practitioner. So I thought I want to bring this to East Malaysia. So I went to Auckland, New Zealand to learn from one of the top gurus in the world in NLP, Dr. Richard Bolstad. And I came back, and my training business has just like, it flew off. And that was my part of the story I would like to share with you. So you see, when people go through burnout, it is basically your body telling you that, or your subconscious mind, if you want to think of it that way, it is telling you there's something that you're doing that is not congruent with who you are. And the more you force yourself to do something that is not congruent, the more you will feel you are distanced from yourself. And when you feel you are distanced from yourself, that is, I think, a potential burnout happening. So before I finish today's episode, I just want to encourage you to ask yourself, are you congruent? Is what you are doing congruent with the person that you are? Is what you are doing congruent with the vision that you have in your life, or the values that you hold dear in your life? And if it is, well done. But if it is not, then I think it will be a good thing for you to take 1 or 2 days off. Go to the jungle, or go and sit by the beach, or what. Take out a notepad and really write down what is it that you want. Because if you don't take the time to do that, it won't disappear. I will guarantee you that. That feeling will only get worse. And some people, they just want to go out and for holidays, they go for shopping trips and all that in order to solve that. But those are not sustainable. Those are not long-term solutions. So I think the best is if you would, do what I said just now, which is to give yourself quality time to really think about your life and re-strategize. So in a future episode, I'll talk about how you re-strategize that, and etc. So I'll leave that for another episode. But for now, I want you to ask yourself, are you being congruent with the person that you really are? Makes a whole lot of difference. Hope you have enjoyed today's episode. See you tomorrow.